Okay, let's kick things off today with a little logic puzzle. I want you to really think about this for a second. What gets wetter the more it dries? It sounds like a total paradox, right? Like, how can something simultaneously increase in moisture while performing the actual job of removing it? Well, keep that little contradiction in the back of your mind, because this is exactly how language loves to trick our brains. The answer? It's a towel. Absolute classic. When you dry yourself off after a shower, the towel absorbs the water, so it physically gets wetter. And this brilliantly sets up exactly what we're going to be exploring today: how English riddles cleverly hijack our minds by playing with literal meanings versus action-based meanings. You see, we automatically assume the word drying refers to the state of the object itself, rather than the job the object is doing. All right, so let's dive into this. 20 short English riddles, a thematic breakdown. Welcome to today's explainer. We're not just going to sit here and read off a list of brain teasers. Instead, we're going to treat this as an interactive mental gym session. We're going to decode exactly how language manages to trick us, using a really fantastic collection of 20 short English riddles. Round 1. Objects with body parts. You know, the English language is absolutely famous for personification, basically giving human traits to inanimate objects. Take riddle number 2, which asks, I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. What am I? The answer is an echo. Or what about riddle 16? What has one eye but can't see? A needle. Because we hear words like mouth, ears, or eye, our brain immediately visualizes a living creature. We have to actively force our minds out of that biological default to find the mechanical definition. So let's test this out on you right now with riddle number 13. I'll give you a second to think it over. What has many teeth but can't bite? When you hear the word teeth, your brain naturally thinks of a mouth, right? But you've got to block that instinct. Think outside the box. What else has teeth? If you guessed a comb, boom, you nailed it. This is the perfect aha reveal. A comb relies entirely on the anatomical word teeth to misdirect us. The little prongs of a comb are technically called teeth, sure, but they completely lack the jaw and the muscle required to actually bite anything. Let's keep this momentum going, firing off riddle number 8. What has hands but can't clap? Once again, you need to sidestep the human anatomy trap. Think about everyday objects around your house. And the answer is a clock. The double meaning of the word hands creates this beautifully simple linguistic illusion. Honestly, it's almost elegant in how it uses just 6 simple words to send your brain sprinting down the completely wrong path. Okay, we've survived the anatomy test, moving right along to round 2, bending space and logic. These next few riddles literally defy physics and geography. Riddle number 5 asks, what can travel around the world while staying in one corner? This right here sets up a classic spatial paradox. Traveling the world implies vast, dynamic, sweeping movement, but staying in a corner implies being totally stationary, trapped even. How on earth can both of those be true at the same time? It's a stamp. The real crux of the trick here is the clever duality of that word, corner. We immediately picture the corner of a room, right? A fixed, unmoving geographical location. But the riddle is actually referring to the corner of a moving envelope. The stamp stays fixed relative to the envelope itself, while the envelope gets shipped across the globe. All right, let's throw another physics-bending one your way with riddle 15. What can fill a room but takes up no space? When we hear the word fill, our brains inherently think of volume and mass. You know, like water filling a swimming pool or a bunch of boxes filling up your closet. The answer is light. This plays so wonderfully on our built-in physical assumptions, doesn't it? Light clearly reaches every single corner of a room, illuminating it completely, so it definitely fills it. But because it lacks physical mass in a way that displaces other objects, it literally takes up zero space. You can still cram all your furniture into a brightly lit room. All right, here we go. Round 3, the human element. So, while the previous rounds were all about objects and physics, these ones center on us, our actions. Take riddle number 6. The more you take, the more you leave behind. What am I? For this one, I want you to shift your thinking specifically toward human motion. Think about a trail you might leave. Usually, taking something means acquiring it, like picking up a coin and putting it in your pocket. But the answer is footsteps. See, the word taking here doesn't refer to grabbing a physical object at all. It refers to the action of taking steps. And as you take those steps forward, you are physically leaving the footprints themselves in the dirt behind you. Let's try riddle number 9. This one shifts the mental focus towards social interaction and identity. What belongs to you, but others use it more than you do? Now, ownership usually implies exclusive use, right? If you own a car, you're the one driving it the most. So what is it that you own, but everyone else gets way more mileage out of? Your name. And what is so fascinating about this is the pure social utility of a name. It is the absolute core of your individual identity. It legally belongs to you, but practically speaking, you rarely ever say your own name out loud. It's a tool that's designed almost exclusively for other people to use to get your attention. Which brings us to our final, fastest round. Round 4, tricky letters and wordplay. Okay, these riddles drop real-world logic completely and focus purely on literal spelling and popular idioms. We're going rapid fire here, so try to keep up. Riddle 3. What comes once in a minute, twice in a moment, but never in 1,000 years? It's not a unit of time, it's the literal letter M. Riddle 18. What begins with T, ends with T, and has T in it? A teapot. Riddle 20. What can you catch but not throw? A cold, playing entirely on the idiom of catching an illness. Riddle 1. What has to be broken before you can use it? An egg. And riddle 12. What goes up but never ever comes down? Your age. It is honestly amazing how twisting just a few literal letters and common phrases can totally trip us up. Whew. Okay, take a breath. That was a serious mental workout. So, tell me, how many out of our curated list did you actually get right before I revealed the answers? To wrap up our explainer today, I'm going to leave you with riddle number 19 to ponder. It's a true classic. What kind of room has no doors or windows? A mushroom. I know. It's basically a joint dad joke to end our session, but it perfectly highlights the playful, super tricky nature of the English language. A room doesn't always need 4 walls. Sometimes it just needs to be part of a fungus. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer today. As you go about your day, I want you to ask yourself, how much of our reality is shaped just by the literal words we use to describe it? Keep questioning what you read, and I'll catch you next time.